After the disaster that was 2002, it was time to try this again. For 2003, YBR would be back to running part-time. All the big tracks were avoided like the plague this year, with the only goal being just to keep the car in one piece. 2 at most, so long as it was a small one. They skipped the 500 and ran the second race at Rockingham again, which turned out to be a pretty good idea. They nailed the setup and qualified 16th. And not only did they keep up with that starting spot, fighting with names like Jeff Gordon and Matt Kenseth on speed, by the checkered flag, Danny managed to work his way up into 12th, the closest YBR had ever come to a top 10 by far. But once again, for the rest of the races, it was back to the high 30s and low 20s. 28th at Atlanta, 25th at Martinsville, 32nd at Fontana, blew a motor in spectacular fashion and finished 41st in the Coke 600, 29th at Dover, DNQ'd Chicagoland. Moving on, 28th at Indy, 20th at Bristol, and 26th at Martinsville Fall. And finally, Rockingham came around again for the second to last race of the season. Matt Kenseth was looking to clinch the title a race early, and YBR was looking to end their season with a decent race. They didn't know what would be in store. Danny qualified 19th and quickly started to carve through the pack. By the time of the first pit cycle, he was up to 15th, and a quick stop shot him all the way up into 12th. Danny was only 2 positions to the top 10, but for an agonizing 102 laps, it stayed just out of reach. Before a half round of ledge was taken out under the 6th caution of the day, and that loosened the car up just enough to get the 56 flying. Danny was in 11th by lap 172, and into the top 10 on speed for the very first time on lap 199. But Danny wasn't going to stop there. 9th by lap 208. 8th, 7th, the car was flying on rails. By the time the next caution was called, he was up to 6th. However, they got a little too overconfident and made another adjustment that ended up making the car a little too loose. With a very close call almost wrecking into turn 1, they slid down to 10th, but quickly fixed it on the next stop, and Danny started picking his way toward the front again. When the jack dropped on the last round of pit stops, Danny was back up to 6th, staring right at the all-tail bumper of Ryan Newman in 5th. For the next 20 laps, the 2 Dodges fought for the position. Newman was fighting to try and finish top 5 in points. Danny was fighting to finish top 5 for the first time, period. And as the laps wound down, eventually Newman wore out those new tires. And with a cut to the low side, the 56 sailed past the 12. And just 10 laps later, Danny Cooper and YBR would not only get their first top 10, but get their first ever top 5. I know a run like this doesn't seem like much to the guys we're running with today, but this is huge for us. Honestly, I can't thank the team enough for getting me here today, and this is a great way to end our season. Rockingham was turning into YBR's best track by far. They had something else there that no one else did. And even if their performance was mid-pack at best everywhere else, at the very least they had this ace up their sleeve for the foreseeable future to get in some good finishes and build momentum. Right?